under the lights, a tradition since 1999 to kick off the racing season here at Thunder Road with a Community Bank NA 150. Drivers, start your engines! Field fires to life behind the Cody Chevrolet Camaro pace car. And we are ready to go. Race 3 for ACT. Looks like the 99 of Cody Blake is going to need a push off here at the start. Look at the heavy hitters starting at the front in this one. And this could be exactly what we got robbed of a couple of years ago in the Governor's Cup 150 when there was a small accident which did a lot of damage to the number 60, which robbed us of the Corliss versus O'Donnell battle. Because these are two of the heavyweights when it comes to racing these late models at Thunder Road, and right now they are going to square off from row number 1 for 150 laps. Jason Corliss, starting from the outside of the front row, is in his drive for 5. He wants to be the first 5-time winner of this event. Derek O'Donnell in car number 60, starting from the pole, has kind of hinted at intentions that he's going to run for the title in 2024, and what a better way to do it than start right now. But Forsyth Hill, I need your help. It's time for the wave-off lap. If you guys got a hat, a program, a small child, it's not really quite that dark where you need your cell phones to do the Firefly wave-off lap, but let these drivers know you're cheering for them. Whichever one of these ones is your favorite, unless your favorite didn't qualify, then cheer for all of them. Because they have put a lot of hard work and effort into each one of these machines to get them ready to entertain you here on this Saturday. May the 4th be with you. Bud Hill, how you doing? Let these race car drivers hear some noise. Main grandstands, get out of your seats and get on your feet. And let these drivers hear it as they come down the front straightaway, and let these crews hear it who have gathered along the white line down the inside of the front straightaway. It is their hard work throughout the course of the offseason, or maybe since last week when the ACT was at Oxford, to put these cars back in race form to bring you some entertainment here today for 150 green flag laps. The Community Bank NA 150. Since 1999, when our current governor of the state of Vermont wasn't the governor then, won the first one. Scott Dragon picked up the win in 2003. On an odd day that everyone that won on that day was a Rookie of the Year candidate in 1999. In all the divisions. Don't ask me how I know that. We are ready to go. 6 Thunder Road track titles make up row number 1. An American Canadian Tour Championship and Flying Tiger Track Championship in row number 2. Row 3 will be 3 King of the Road titles between those two drivers. Jamie Swallow Jr., top runner at the Riverside Speedway for a number of years behind the wheel of a late model, and Brooks Clark, who in the past has swept the ACT events at Thunder Road. The bad boy Bobby Therian, the first person to pull the hat trick and win all 3 championships in each of the divisions. And to his outside, Derek Luchaki, the current ACT point leader. Inside of the top 10, there is not a championship contender to be found. Or not a driver that isn't one anyway. Stephen Martin, Rookie of the Year in the late models. Gabe Brown, former Oxford Plains Speedway track champion. Eric Sands, top runner on the ACT Tour. Marcel Gravel's been climbing the ladder. Casey Beatty, last year's White Mountain champion. Defending ACT champion, DJ Shaw. The field here today at Thunder Road is stacked through and through with race winners and championship contenders. And the pace car is out of the way, and we're ready to go for 150 laps. Here they come, off of turn 4. Green flag is out. Derek O'Donnell in car number 60 wants to assert the early dominance and pulls away with the race lead as Jason Corliss tucks in line behind him. Jimmy Hebert in car number 58 around the bottom of the racetrack looking to go to third. Moves by Cooper Bouchard. Here comes Pelkey down low with the 68. Pelkey with the 68 New Hampshire scoring points, owner's points for the 68 team, normally driven by Tanner Woodard. Scott Dragon in the 0 looking to move himself up into the top 5. Dragon down low, the premier paving car now 5th. As the front 5 cars run single file, it's then Jamie Swallow Jr. and Cooper Bouchard side by side for 6th. Derek Luchaki in the 0-3 trying to get down to the bottom in front of the Bobby Therian 5 car. Therian having none of that. Keeps the door kicked wide open with 5 laps complete now. At the front, Derek O'Donnell, your leader. Corliss in the 66, new colors this year. He's got the In Memory of Lloyd Hutchins purple on the roof, left over from the Milk Bowl 1 year ago. And they've trimmed the car in purple. As Cooper Bouchard in car number 7 has made it work on the outside, he held off Swallow. Gets himself down to the bottom. That opens up the whole outside lane, and here comes Luchaki in the L3. ACT point leader Derek Luchaki in the 0-3, pedaling up the outside lane. Trying to get himself around the 68 of Brooks Clark as they battle inside of the top 10. Bobby Therian beginning to backslide a little bit. Here comes Gabe Brown to work down on the inside of him. Field stacked up 2 by 2 deeper in the field right there. Beatti in the 45, Fisher in the 18 run side by side. Brian Walwright behind him with Brandon Lambert in the Brandon Lanfear in the 16. As Jimmy Hebert thinks he might have had enough, but he'll go to the outside lane now for second. Jimmy Hebert in the Hebert Excavation car 58 jumps it up to the outside lane now, goes to work on Corliss. Corliss runs in the tire tracks of the race leader Derek O'Donnell. Hebert getting a little bit impatient, trying to work that outside lane. Pelkey in the 68 rides in the number 4 spot. 5th is Scott Dragon. Bouchard 6th, 7th is now the 4 of Jamie Swallow, and Bobby Therian has kind of gone up and around and gotten back by the 0-3 of Derek Luchaki. Gabe Brown gave one up because Marcel Gravel came storming through in the 86 car. As we've got a new race leader on the outside. Jimmy Hebert in car number 58, former ACT champion, up the outside lane now, the new leader. And Scott Dragon sees that work and says, hey, I might try that myself. Goes to the outside for 4th, and Dragon takes it. 15 laps complete. We've had 2 race leaders. First 13 laps went to Derek O'Donnell, and now it's Jimmy Hebert in control. O'Donnell backsliding on the inside, goes to 2nd, maybe saving tires for later on in the run. And here comes Dragon on the outside. He wants the runner-up position. Dragon moving early. Corliss is in trouble in turn 1. Corliss way out of shape. Door opened up to the inside for Pelkey. Dragon now, number 2 on the running order. O'Donnell back to 3rd. Then it's Corliss 4th and Pelkey 5th. Still 6th is Cooper Bouchard, but we got a change for 7th as the bad boy Bobby Therian's turning the wick up. Bobby Therian beginning to turn the wick up as Jamie Swallow Jr. in car number 4 uses every lane of racetrack to keep Brooks Clark at bay. Clark now finds a hole down to the bottom as Derek O'Donnell goes back by Scott Dragon for 2nd. 20 laps complete for Hebert. Derek O'Donnell now going back to the whip, goes back by Dragon for the number 2 position. Dragon back to 3rd. Corliss still 4th. Hebert shows the way with 21 on the board. Brooks Clark on the 68 tried to pedal down to the bottom on Swallow. Couldn't make that work. That opened up the inside door now for Gabe Brown. Brown to the inside on Brooks Clark trying to move forward. And Clark using the outside lane to keep him at bay as Bobby Therian continues to motor his way forward. He's gunning for 6th now on the outside. The Casella Waste Management, car number 5 on the outside lane, trying to get around the 7 of Bouchard. And Bouchard's loose off 2. Bouchard got big time loose off the second corner, and Bobby Therian lifted out of the gas to let him save it. Front 5 cars run single file, now 6th, 7th, and 8th. Swallow in the 4 trying to hold off both lanes as Gabe Brown on the inside tried to go by him, and then Brooks Clark tried to flash it to the outside. Hey, look out, there goes Clark on the back straightaway. And everybody scatters. '77, Brian Wall trying to get that car refired and join back in on the tail of the field. Heavy damage on the front of the 55. Brooks Clark goes to the pits. Keegan Lampson stays out. Cody Blake down pit road. Blake down pit road in a hurry in the 99 car. Scores going to work on the restart lineup. They'll slide the 77 of Brian Wall back in where he belongs as he spun to avoid after the yellow flag was already 8. Brandon Barker down pit road. Roland Robinson Jr. in the 28 down pit road. So a bunch of drivers headed for the pits. Brooks Clark ready to return from pit road. Brandon Barker is coming back, as is Cody Blake. .25 complete, 1:25 to go. Race 3 for the American Canadian Tour Championship season. And Jimmy Hebert's going to choose the top of the racetrack. That's where he went to move by Derek O'Donnell for the race lead. Roland Robinson Jr. coming back from pit road. Jeremy Sorrell back. Don't forget, still to come tonight, the Road Warriors will wrap up the program. Jeremy Sorrell, car number 7. 1 lap to the rears. He is the only driver eligible for the lucky dog, but he was on pit road when the caution came out, so no lucky dog this time. Pace car pulls the lights off and heads for the infield. Jimmy Hebert, the leader on the outside. Derek O'Donnell on the inside. 125 laps to go. Green is out. Hebert in the 58 puts the pedal down and leads. Hebert on the outside is the leader. Here comes Jason Corliss up the outside looking for the number 2 position. Hebert on the outside, O'Donnell on the inside. Jason Corliss 66 and Scott Dragon in the 0. .58 Hebert the leader. 66 Corliss. Derek O'Donnell. Scott Dragon in the 0. As Gabe Brown makes a lane change on the back straightaway, Cody Blake back down pit road to the 99. Chris Pelkey in the 68 on the inside now, trying to work over Scott Dragon. Is up to 6, comes Therian in the 5. Bobby Therian making his second ACT start of 2024. On the outside of Bouchard, moves himself up into that 6th position. Bouchard is 7th, 8th to Gabe Brown. Jimmy Hebert in the 58, 66 Corliss and O'Donnell in the 60. Problems for Scott Dragon. Dragon up in sparks on the back straightaway. Dragon in the 0, trying to limp it back to the pits. Yellow flag is out for the 2-time track champion. Something broken on the 0 of Dragon. Jeremy Sorrell will be the lucky dog. Brandon Barker down pit road in the 0. Eric Sands also down pit road. "34 laps down. "58 Ebert, 66 Corliss, the 60 of Derek O'Donnell. Field will stay single file as there is a report of debris over in turn 4. Jimmy Hebert still looking for his first ACT win here at Thunder Road. Multi-time ACT winner. He's picked up wins at Senair, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Lee USA Speedway, but he still wants one at the home track. A restart lineup is correct. Field will cross over in the columns of 2. No sign of the Scott Dragon 0. Hebert will go to the high side. Bobby Therian up into the top 5 in car number 5. Cooper Bouchard in car number 7 for 34 laps has been hanging around inside of the top 10 after his best qualifying effort on the American Canadian Tour. The lights are down on the pace car. It's now Hebert versus Corliss with 34 on the board. Off turn 4, the green flag is back out. We're underway. Jimmy Hebert in the 58 once again uses that outside lane to hold the lead. Hebert pulls away with it. Corliss hangs on to second, slides up to the top of the racetrack. Now O'Donnell in the 60 trying to hang on to third as he battles with the 68 of Chris Pelkey. Pelkey in the 68 on the outside slides back. Therian in the 5 can't clear the 7 of Bouchard. Bouchard making a run for it on the top. Outside lane really coming into it. Sparks flying off the Casey Beatty 45. Beatty gathers it back under control in the middle of the pack after some contact with Brian Wall. Hebert in the 58 is the leader. Corliss in the 66. O'Donnell in the 60. Pelkey in the 68, and Bouchard now back into 5th in car number 7. And here comes Gabe Brown in the 47. Gluchaki in the 03. Last time we were here at Thunder Road, lost the ignition system in the Labor Day Classic last fall. Trying to have better luck than that here today, riding around in about the 10th position. Just outside of the top 10 goes the current ACT point leader. Jimmy Hebert shows the way over Corliss and O'Donnell. And then Pelkey in the 68, Cooper Bouchard, car number 7. Former feature winner behind the wheel of a late model here, and then Gabe Brown in the 47, last year's ACT runner-up. Brown, second place finisher last week at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Trying to rebound after a crash at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway to start his 2024 season. Trying to find his way around the 7 of Cooper Bouchard. 45 laps are now complete for Jimmy Hebert in the 58. 66, Corliss and O'Donnell in the 60. The front row now runs second and third as DJ Shaw goes under attack from Caden Fisher in the 18. That's the battle for 10th. Shaw in the 04, Fisher 18. And Chip Grenier, who started deep in the 9 car, marching his way towards the top 10. Up on the outside of DJ Shaw, trying to roll forward. DJ Shaw running way wide in the 04 car, giving no room to Chip Grenier in car 9. Bouchard in the 7, getting the pressure right now from Gabe Brown as Brown continues to try to work the bottom, but to no avail. Inside lane struggling right now here for the late models. In the heat races, it was all outside lane, or it was all inside lane, and now here in the feature, it's switched to the top of the racetrack's the place to be. A third of the way through this one. 99 laps to go for Jimmy Hebert in car 58. Cooper Bouchard in car number 7 is in danger right now of seeing the piggy flag from Chief Starter Jason Lemoy, telling the 7 of Cooper Bouchard to pick a lane, as Gabe Brown will now come through on the bottom. Gabe Brown now clear, trying to track down the front 4 automobiles. As Marcel Gravel now goes to the outside for 6th on the 7 of Cooper Bouchard. Jimmy Hebert continues to lead at the front. Leo Hill, Brandon Barker, final car on the lead lap, about a straightaway away as the leaders try to close in. Cooper Bouchard in car number 7 beginning to lose the handle on that car as now Jamie Swallow Jr. has come through. Chris Pelkey, 68, going to work on the bottom. Trying to get by Derek O'Donnell for the number 3 position, and he's got it. Sparks show that time as the 66 bottoms out on corner entry, and the 68 moves up as